Hello, me again. This is a quick video. It's basically about mental health. Quick video, like I said, 10 top tips to looking after your mental health. If you have tension, nervousness, bad temper, anxiety, fear, depression, just headaches, mood, loneliness, just feeling negative, feeling like a failure, overwhelmed, withdrawn, frustration, worry, some sort of disorder, insomnia, scared, stress, fear, despair, awareness, all this, depression, PTSD, frustration, worry, all these, they're all to do with mental health. And obviously, and they're all things, that we need to keep on top of, because, in everyday life, we all like to walk about, get on with our life, like, yeah, nothing's wrong, there ain't nothing we can't do, etc. But now and again, we do get into a hole where we find it hard to get out. Now, majority of people have a little dip and then they get out, but some people, they fall into a hole and they need a little bit of help to get out. So yeah, I've been depressed myself in the past, so yeah, I understand how people can get themselves so depressed, and it doesn't naturally has to come from something really bad happened and now they're depressed. Sometimes depression can take hold and you can't figure out exactly why you're depressed, and it becomes so hard just to get out of bed in the morning. So yeah, in the future I'll get into that a bit deeper, but right now, like I said, the title of this video is top 10 tips to looking after mental health. 1. Now this is kind of important. Talk about your feelings. Like most of the others, this is going to sound very cliche and, oh, I've heard this before, blah, 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 but it really is important. Talking about your feelings can help you stay in good mental health and deal with times when you feel troubled, okay? See, these videos that I'm making now, they help me talk, because a lot of the time, people say, oh, talk about your feelings. Okay, I'll try and talk to, I don't know, my partner. My partner doesn't really want to talk about much. Okay, best friend. Okay, not very many friends, kind of isolated. And the ones I've got don't really want to talk about it. And, when you do start talking to people about things, they're like, oh, that's so depressing, But there are people that you can talk to. I mean, I'm going to give you the number for the Samaritans at the end. Actually, I will give it to you now. The Samaritans number is a free call number. It's 116123. I'm pretty sure it's all over the world, but I know for 100% it's in England. Talking about your feelings, yeah, that feeling of despair and agitation, it's such a weight on you that it, for me anyway, and I'm sure for other people too, that feeling becomes such a weight that it actually comes out in a physical way. So they say this is mental health. Oh, a mental sort of thing. No, yeah. You get depressed, or you have some sort of anxiety, or even some sort of anger problem, just a little frustrated, it grows, and it becomes this massive weight that weighs you down, and you don't know what to do about it, and you just want it gone, yeah. And then you end up with real problems. It messes with your sleep, which messes with your whole cycle, and before you know it, you're eating less, or maybe sometimes you could be eating more because it's comforting, and you end up in a real state, and you don't know how you got there, you don't know how to get out of it, and you just want that, someone to help you out. But yeah, so before you get to that point, talk to someone. Yeah. For me, I didn't have anyone to talk to. I had a counsellor to talk to, because, as I said, I had depression. I'm not going to get into all that because it's not about me. But yeah, they say, oh yes, come and talk to us and that, and to a degree you get to get a little bit off your chest, but then they leave you broken. Yeah, and you're like, I've literally just poured my heart out to you. You're a psychologist. Can you put me back together? But no, they're like, oh, time's up, time to go. And you're a complete mess. Sometimes a complete blubbering mess. And they're like, time's up, bye. And it's like, really? And they just seem so cold and, you know, like so unwarm. And I feel like, really? This is all about money for you, isn't it? You're not helping me. And then they're like, oh, we'll prescribe you this, we'll prescribe you that. Oh, stick some more pills down my throat. That'll cure it. No, it's not going to cure it, because you're not getting to the real root of the problem. And until you get to the root of the problem, you know, it's always going to be a problem. And some tablets may work for a while, but I'm telling you, after a while, they're not going to work. And what are those tablets actually doing to your body? What are they actually doing to your body? They're switching off your brain so you stop thinking. And I honestly think, okay, now this may seem like a bit of a conspiracy theorist, which I don't really like that term, but fine, whatever you want to label it. But why these people that become depressed and that, especially, I'm talking from my own experience here. There's been times where I've got depressed because no one's wanted to hear me, and I've been thinking about things and noticing things that are just plain wrong, and I'm like trying to point it out to people and no one wants to hear. And then I tell this to my psychologist, my worker, and that the psychologist worker, and she wants to up my tablets, and it's like, no, wait, I've realised, you know, this isn't right and it shouldn't be going on, and your answer is not, oh, you know, maybe you could do something about it. It's, let's dose you up so, you know, we can get you all dopey and that, so you don't know what's going on. So yeah, I'm very much into let's try the organic approach. Let's try and do this properly, yeah? So yeah, sorry, divagating a bit there. Yeah, so the first one was talk about your feelings. Talking about your feelings can help you stay in good mental health and deal with times when you feel troubled. Like I said, I had no one to talk to. The people I did have to talk to, they either didn't understand, didn't get it, or they were like on the clock. So I'm using YouTube, and you know, I'm hoping that there's other people out there that will hear this, see this, and you know, bounce some ideas back to me, and you know, we can work together to sort this out, because you know, it is a problem, and I think it's a lot bigger problem than people think. They're like, oh, it's just an odd few nutters. Yeah, no, it's not. Everybody goes through some point in their life where they have some sort of issue like this. So that second one, keep active. Regular exercise can boost your self-esteem, because basically your body starts looking better and things like that, you know, gets your body working properly, you know, gets all those horrible toxins out. It's a good part of detox. Exercise is a great thing, and it's, you know, you can think while you're walking and that, breathe in some good fresh air, get you out of the house, get some sunlight on you. I know sunlight isn't the greatest thing at this point in time, but complete lack of sunlight at all is also not good for you. So get some exercise. Like I say, it can boost your self-esteem, because you realise you can really push yourself sometimes and do more than you realise you can do. Even if just going down the gym and that, just keeping active, even if it's just walking about the house, doing a little bit extra chores maybe. it helps with sleep because you're absolutely knackered after an exercise, and then you get to sleep. You do this a few days in a row, you get back to a sleeping thing. Now, if you're asleep like me, I'm the worst insomniac. I can go so long without sleep. So yeah, I've had all the sleeping tablets and all the anxiety pills. They've given me all of them, and still I have issues with it to this day. But what I do find helps is being active, keeping as active as possible and as doing as much as I can through the day. Now, this is a problem with me, and maybe you, some people are thinking to yourself, this is a problem for you too, because I'm a bit of an introvert. I don't really like to be around people. I'm very shy, I'm very into myself. So what can I do to keep active? Well, first of all, there's housework, stuff like that, blah blah blah. I tried cooking. Maybe that's something you'd like to do. It was okay at first, but wasn't really for me. Art, love painting, drawing, all of that sort of thing. So got into that for a bit, but it just wasn't enough. For me, I like to learn. I mean, if I get onto a subject that really captures my attention, I need to know everything about it. So yeah, I spend my time studying, which might sound very boring to you, but for me, it's that thing that, you know, gives me a little spark of energy and it keeps me busy. It also teaches me a lot of stuff. It helps me. It's what works for me. So finding what works for you to keep you busy is really important. Again, it helps with your sleep. And once you've slept and that, and exercising, you start looking better, feeling better. Exercising itself keeps the brain and other vital organs healthy. And is also a significant benefit towards improving your mental health, which is, I read that off of a bit of my own writing. I did research this first. There's nothing that I will ever tell you that I haven't researched thoroughly first. So yeah, which is basically what I just said to you. It helps towards your mental health. So again, seems like something so, you know, oh, exercise, you know, but I'm not saying shit, you gotta go out there and run a mile or 5. I'm not going, go up your gym full of loads of people when you might be claustrophobic, because there's so many different types of mental illnesses, you know, and you know what, none of them worked for me either. But what did work for me and keep me active was finding something that I could do on my own that kept me active and happy. At first it was art. I tried a bit of cooking. I tried quite a few things at once, to be honest with you. And what it really came down to was I really enjoyed learning about new things, like conspiracy theories, health. I realised I had Rh negative blood. I really got into that subject. There'll be videos in that in the future. The Bible, I absorbed that knowledge like no tomorrow. I'll actually be making a video later on that. Just so you know, it's all about Sodom, not Sodom and Gomorrah, just Sodom before it got blown up, basically, by God. Lot, well, he sees 2 angels visiting, and a bunch of men try to, how do I put this PG? They try to sodomize him as a gang against their will. Except these guys don't know they're angels. And then these 2 guys are like, who are the angels? Are like, Lot, you got however long to get out of here. Take your daughters and that. Get as far away as possible. You're going to have to listen to the video for the rest of it, and I'll give you proper quotes from the Bible and everything like that. There is nothing that I will tell you that is a lie. It is all 100% fact. Okay? So, moving on. Top tip number 3. Eating well. Again, seems like another cliche. Is what you're thinking, yeah? But, for myself, I was like, especially when I was really, really depressed, it was more eat when I felt like eating, and I really never felt like eating. Other people are more comfort eaters, that sort of thing. Your brain needs a whole mix of nutrients in order to stay healthy and function well, just like all the other organs in your body. A diet that's good for physical health is also good for mental health, is what they're saying, which I've got to say is true. If you're at a point where you're really depressed, the sort of depressed where you just can't get out of bed in the morning, then, you know, you really need help of a different kind. But if you're at a point where you're really depressed but you're desperate to change things and you'll do anything to get out of it, then this is more for you, which is at this place I was at. I mean, it could have been worse, but it was pretty bad. So yeah, and I also didn't want to keep taking all these pills. It was no good for you, you know, all these chemicals in your body. I didn't want to do that, so detoxed. I had a lot of berry smoothies, things like that. Breakfast was a massive part of my day. So much water. I drank so much water for a while to really detox. I had to get all of that out of me. You know, all that rubbish that in normal food and that, and try to eat healthy stuff, basically. I tried to get my 5 a day, tried all that. No silly diets, just basically no fads, you know. Like I said, I'm always going to tell you facts. I'm not going to be like, oh, try this new diet. No, yo-yo diets are not the answer. None of this is the answer. Not even for people that are trying to lose weight, you know. It's all about balance, yeah? And food is really important. And I've noticed that if I eat properly, it does actually have impact on the way that I sleep and my sleep pattern and my sleep routine. It all goes one in one. It's all like a big cycle, and you know, you fix one thing in the cycle, it starts making it go a bit more smoothly. You fix another thing, you fix another thing. Yeah, so get all those good things that you need. You need protein. If you're vegetarian or something, you don't want to eat meat, that's cool, that's your choice. But make sure you get your vitamins. And when you do get your vitamins, make sure that they are just vitamins, because sometimes when you look at the back of some vitamins, they've actually added so much chalk and rubbish to it that's no good for you. Just be careful with that. Yeah, so eat well. It seems very simple, but yeah. If you want to put any comments, I'll give you a lot more. I can give you a lot more information on that. I'm just trying to make this a quick top 10 tips, really. It's just that I talk a lot. It takes so long for me to get through something. Okay, so 4, drink sensibly. Yeah, before I was mentioning I drank so much water. I always drink a lot of water. I don't, you know, you get so much sugar. I mean, like everyone knows with the Coca-Cola, you put a tooth in it. Like if a kid loses a tooth or something, or even a penny, you put that in a glass with a load of cola. Wait a minute, take it out. Well, the tooth just is gone, and the penny is so shiny. And I mean, and we're drinking that, so you know. Carry on drinking it if you want. I mean, we've drunk it for so many years. Why change, some people say. But, you know, if you're going through some sort of problem, maybe it's time for a little change. And what's wrong with water? Water's cool, you know. You want to add something like, you want to have something a bit tastier? What I do is I get some fruit and make a nice smoothie. I like to make sure what vitamins and that are going into it. Although I've been doing this a while now, so you know, I'm a little bit more into it. When I first started doing it, I was like, I get cramps, so stick bananas in there. You know, it was basically, you know, I need iron, green stuff, basically basic stuff like that. But you know what? Those basic stuff were the first step. And the first step, you know, leads to the second step, and it will keep going, you know, as long as you have that willpower. Then you have those people that lose their willpower. You know, I understand that life deals pretty hard blows, and you know, it can knock you down to the point where you don't have any willpower, and so maybe you just don't care to want to look after yourself anymore. So maybe you're a person listening to this who you're not actually going through this, but you know somebody who is. Well, maybe you can try and give them a nudge in this direction to try and help them. And yeah, they're going to hate it at first. They're going to try and fight it. But if you love that person, you know, just keep putting glasses of water next to their bed, stuff like that. Try and get them up, get them in the shower, that sort of thing. They might hate you for it at first and shout at you and say horrible, obscene things. But you know what? If you love your friend, then, you know, you need to do that. Yeah, so drink sensibly, keep in touch. There's nothing better than keeping in touch with someone face to face. Face to face talking is better than anything, but any communication is better than nothing. Asking for help. None of us are superhuman. We all sometimes get tired or overwhelmed by how we feel, or when things don't go to plan. So things are getting too much for you and you feel you can't cope. Ask for help. Your family or friends may be able to offer practical help or a listening ear. Anything, basically. Just get help. That's the main thing. And like I was trying to tell you before, sorry, my phone is running out of battery, so yes, you are getting a bit of a funny picture, but I'll sort that out. Yeah, so upside down. Yeah, so yeah, the point was keeping, get my notes. First of all, there was keeping in touch, right? I rushed through that. I really shouldn't have. I'm sorry, right? This is for people that need help, yeah? Keeping in touch is very important. Now, I have fights with my sisters, with my well, not with my mum, but, you know, disagreements, all sorts of things I have issues with in my family. But at the end of the day, I love each and every one of them. They could be, they're not, but they could be a prostitute, they could be a banker, they could be a politician, they could be anything in the world, yeah? And I may agree with them, and I may not, but I will always love them because they're my family. And, you know, if something happened, like one of my sisters got married and they didn't even tell me about it, let alone invite me, that would deeply hurt me. So keeping in touch with them is important, because something like that could happen if you're not speaking to them. And it's not because they hate you, although that's might be how you feel at the time. It's because they think you don't care, because, you know, you're kind of a little bit to yourself, which is not your fault, and you know, it's nobody's fault, but I'm just saying keeping in touch is very important, even if it's just, you know, saying hi to a neighbour in the street. That communication with someone, another human being, is so important. It keeps you in touch with reality. Yeah, keep the lines of communication open to everyone as much as possible. Remember to ask for help was 6. 6 is ask for help. Like I said, none of us are superhuman. We all get tired, and we all get, you know, issues. There's not one person of us on this planet that have not been through something where we don't need a little help at some point. So yeah, ask for help. You know, what's the worst that could happen? If you go to your mum, your dad, your sister, your brother, what is the worst that could happen? They disregard it. Okay, that's happened to me. It sucks. It sucks big time. It really hurts. It's like a gut punch. But it didn't kill me. And you know what they say? What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Not straight away. They don't mention the not straight away bit, but eventually, yeah, it does. So, yeah, even if it's just, I'm feeling a bit down, even if it's just talking to them about something simple, and then, or maybe, yeah, keep your ear open for any issues that they're having, and then you can be a shoulder to cry on for them, and when they're telling, you know, their side of things, you can say, yes, I've been through something similar, and, you know, you can help each other out in that regard. Yeah, so that was 6. 7 is take a break. A change of scene or a change of pace is good for your mental health. It could be a 5-minute pause from work. If you're a stay-at-home mum, that could be a pause from cleaning, like kitchen or whatever. It could be a half-hour lunch break at work. It could be a weekend, you know, maybe even a long weekend where you can go out. In England, we have, in the north of England, we have some hills and that. Wales, well, there's hills everywhere really, but yeah, you could go rock, not exactly rock climbing, but you know, just walking around, rambling, I think it's called. Just go for a walk, you know, you don't have to go miles. You know, it's just an example. Some people like to do that on holiday. But, you know, you could just sit there and de-stress. Sit and watch a nice film. Something calm that isn't, you know, going to be a bit play on your mind. Just, you know, try and be at peace with yourself when you're alone. There's a lot of teachings on with Buddha, Buddhist monks and that are very helpful. Maybe sometime we can talk about that. I haven't really, I mean, I know quite a bit about it, but I haven't researched it enough that I would guide anyone else in that. That's something that you should really find a good person to talk to you about. But that's more getting into the, you know, sitting down and just silence and sitting there and meditating, that sort of thing, listening to a bit of Enya. You know, a little cliche, but yeah, it works for some people, and a lot of people are surprised by how it works. For me, I like to listen to an audio book and do a puzzle as well. I know it sounds strange, but it actually, when you're listening to music, something calm, probably not, you know, rock, but yeah, when you're listening to music and doing some sort of puzzle or activity at the same time, you're using different parts of your brain. So, you know, it becomes, because you're using 2 different parts of your brain, it creates an effect where you just feel a bit calmer. I don't know exactly how to explain it, but it helps. It helps me, and I think it's something that other people should try. It's very, it is very cathartic. Yeah, so there's that. Make sure that you have time for you. Even if you're the sort of person that's working all the time, make sure you have some, as they say, me time. Make sure you have time to de-stress. Even if you've got a load of kids and you're at work all the time, make sure you have that 1 hour bath, bubble bath, where you can just de-stress and all that. Be lovely as well if, you know, there was a nice, good-looking man or a woman, depending on whether you're a man or a woman and your preference, who could give you a massage. That's always good. But yeah, if we haven't, sometimes we have to look after ourselves. Yeah, so 8, do something you're good at. What do you love doing? What activities can you lose yourself in? What did you love doing in the past? Enjoy yourself. Enjoying yourself can help beat stress, apparently. Doing an activity you enjoy probably means you're good at it, and achieving something boosts your self-esteem, which is basically what the scientists and the doctors are saying. And also, what I was saying not long ago, find what it is that you love doing, and do it, you know. Forget about the rest of the world out there. That can wait. Take some me time, as we said in step 7, and do what you want to do, okay? Because, yeah, it is good to give back and think about other people, but you're important too, and you are, you know, what is the slogan? You're worth it too. But you really are. You're a human being too. We all have souls, we're all human beings, and each and every one of us need tending to, even if it has to be done by ourselves. So yeah, you need to boost our self-esteems, and by doing what we're good at or what we love, it does boost it and it helps. So yeah, basically proving my point there. Number 9 is accept who you are. We're all different. It's much healthier to accept that you're unique than to wish you were more like someone else, like some model or actress or whatever, because I bet at home when all that makeup's off, they're just the same as anyone else, and you're probably prettier, who knows. Yeah, feeling good about yourself boosts your confidence to learn new skills, visit new places and make new friends. So I'm at the point where I want to learn new skills. I want to learn as much as possible. I'm all about learning. All the knowledge I can get, basically. I'd also love to visit new places, but I'm not quite at that level with confidence yet. But you may be further along, and visiting new places and that puts a whole different perspective on your life, and, you know, just everything in general. So if you have the money, you know, you have the time, all circumstances are right, I would encourage you to take that trip that you've always wanted to go on. To just visit anywhere, really, that you're interested in, or maybe somewhere that you never knew existed, and just see how they live out there. You know, I think that might help, but that would be more for the people that are a little bit further along. Along with visiting new places, making new friends is good for your self-esteem. Helps you cope when life takes a difficult turn. Like, basically, the more friends we have, the more people are there when we fall. Have you ever done a trust fall, or at least heard about it? Basically, one person stands on a step and falls back, and another person or a group of people catch them. Hence the trust fall, because you got to trust that they're going to catch you. It's pretty much like that with your friends. You know, the next time you fall, you might need to be caught. Sometimes we all need to be caught. The more friends you have, you can be caught. But you know what? It's also good to help other people. It really helps yourself too, because it feels good to help other people. So when they fall, help catch them too. And then the next time you fall, I'm not saying do it just because you help them so they've got to help you. It's just how things work, you know? Kind of a karma thing. The more you help people, it feels really good, and it feels good for a reason, because that's the way it should be. We should be helping each other, you know? So, yeah, that's just my point on it. Right, this is a lot longer than I thought it would be, so we're going to get to number 10. And, oh, what a surprise. It's care for others. Caring for others is often an important part of keeping up relationships with people close to you. It can even bring you closer together. Basically, just what I said. You know, that's what is coming from the doctors at the minute. That's the information they're putting out, the top 10 lists, and my opinions on them. And yeah, basically what I said. Make as many friends as possible. Okay, so that's it. It's just a public announcement. Public health video, I guess. Okay, so good night or good morning, wherever you are. Bye-bye.